A Japanese 2-year-old goes to bed later than your child, sleeps almost 2 hours less in a day, and still falls asleep in about 10 minutes. Most parents believe the answer is an earlier bedtime, and an earlier bedtime is usually the thing making it worse. So what is a mother in Osaka doing at 6:30 in the evening that you are not doing at 7:30? I want you to picture the hallway. It is 8:40 at night. You are sitting on the floor with your back against the wall outside your child's door. Your knees are up. The dinner plates are still on the table. Your phone is at 9%. Inside that room, your child is crying, not hurt crying. The other kind. The long, ragged, wide-awake kind that goes up and down like a saw. This is the 4th time you have gone in. There has been water. There has been one more book. There has been a wrong blanket and a right blanket. There has been a small hand pushed flat under the door, reaching for you. And you are sitting out here doing the math in your head about how much of your own evening is left, and hating yourself a little for doing that math. I know this hallway. My name is Keiko Morimoto. I was a hoikushi, a nursery teacher, in Nagano and then in Yokohama for 31 years. My mother did the same work. So did her mother. Every single day of those 31 years, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I laid out thin futons on the floor of a room and put between 18 and 40 small children to sleep at the same time. 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, all of them at once, on the floor, in one room. It took about 10 minutes. Not because Japanese children are calmer. They are not. They fight and bite and throw rice. It took 10 minutes because of what we did in the 90 minutes before, and because of what we did with our hands. Now, I will tell you my own failure because it is the reason I am talking to you. My daughter married and moved abroad. Her son, my grandson Ren, was 2 years and 4 months old, and he screamed at bedtime for 70 minutes a night. Every night. For 5 months. I flew over. 31 years of experience in my hands. And I could not fix it in the first week. I sat in that hallway too. Quick word before I go further. The old methods my family uses. There is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book you can buy in our pinned comment below. The book is the long version. If you want it, it is there. I will not mention it again. What I finally understood about Ren was that I had been standing in the wrong room. I kept trying to fix 8 o'clock. The problem was at 6:15 in the bathroom, and it had already happened. By the time that boy was in his bed, the thing that makes a body fall asleep had been switched off 2 hours earlier, and nothing I did in the dark was going to switch it back on. So I stopped watching him at bedtime. I watched the whole evening instead. I wrote down times: bath at 7:50, 4 minutes, warm pajamas, socks, a heated room, overhead light on until the last second, then dark, and a door, and a gate, and good night. And a boy alone behind bars in a warm room with a warm body. Every one of those things was working against him. Not one of them looked like a mistake. Every one of them is in the parenting books. And here is the question I want you to hold on to, because it is the whole video. Why does a child in Osaka who is put down at 9 o'clock fall asleep faster than a child in Ohio who is put down at 7:30? Let me show you the numbers first, because I do not want you to take this from me on trust. There was a study of 29,287 babies and toddlers across 17 countries: Japan, Korea, China, India on one side, America, Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand on the other. The children in Japan had the shortest sleep of the whole group, 11 hours and 37 minutes in a day. The children in New Zealand had 13 hours and 19 minutes. That is a difference of 1 hour and 41 minutes. The Japanese children also went to bed later. And here is the strange part. Those same Japanese families were not the ones lying on the hallway floor. Less sleep, later bedtime, faster to fall asleep. Now hold that against one more number from the same research. In the Western countries, 57% of small children fell asleep on their own, in their own bed, in their own room. In the Asian countries, 4%. 4. Not 40. 4. So the country where almost every child falls asleep alone is the country where bedtime is a war. And the country where almost no child falls asleep alone is the country where bedtime takes 10 minutes. That should stop you for a second. Here is what is actually happening, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. A human body does not fall asleep because the clock says so. It does not fall asleep because the room is dark. A body falls asleep when its inside temperature starts to drop. About an hour before you normally sleep, your core temperature falls by roughly half a degree to 1 degree. Sleep follows that fall. It is not a suggestion. It is the switch. Your child is not going to sleep because it is bedtime. Your child goes to sleep because the body is cooling. And there is a second switch. The animal part of the brain will not let go while it thinks something is wrong. A small child alone in a dark room behind a closed door with a parent walking away is a small animal in the open with no one watching for danger. That brain will not power down. It cannot. It is doing its job. So there are two switches, temperature and safety, and a normal Western bedtime turns both of them off. Think about what we do. A quick warm shower or no bath at all, then a towel, then fleece pajamas, then socks, then a sleep sack, then a room kept at 23 degrees because we are afraid of the child being cold. That child is now hot and getting hotter. The body cannot cool, so the switch cannot flip. And then we put that hot child alone in the dark and shut the door, which turns off the second switch. And then we stand in the hallway and say, why will he not sleep? He is not fighting sleep. He cannot start sleep. There is nothing to fight. Now here is the counterintuitive part, the thing that reframes all of it. Moving bedtime earlier makes it worse. Almost every parent I have ever helped had already tried this. The child fights at 8, so we try 7:30. He fights harder, so we try 7. Now you have put a child who is not yet tired into a dark room and asked him to lie still for an hour. That hour is not sleep. That hour is protest, and protest is exercise. Crying raises the heart rate and raises body temperature, which pushes the sleep switch further away. You have not given him more sleep. You have given him more time to be awake and upset in the dark, and you have warmed him up while doing it. Bedtime is not a rule you enforce. It is a signal you send, and the signal starts long before the bedroom. Now let me tell you what the signal is made of. 6 things. I will give them to you in the order you will do them tonight. The first is the soak. In Japan we call it ofuro, and it is not a wash. Washing happens outside the tub. The soak is a separate thing, and it is the single most powerful part of this. And it is also the one everybody does at the wrong time. The water should be 40 degrees Celsius. That is 104 Fahrenheit. 10 to 12 minutes, shoulders under, and it must be finished 90 minutes before lights out. Not 5 minutes, 90. Here is the trick, and this is the part to rewind. The bath is not what makes them sleepy. The cooling down afterwards is what makes them sleepy. Hot water pulls blood out to the hands and feet and the skin. When the child gets out, all that heat dumps off the skin into the room, and the core temperature falls further and faster than it ever would on its own. That fall is the switch. But it takes about an hour and a half to arrive. So a bath right before bed does nothing except make a hot child. Researchers went through more than 5,000 studies on this and landed on the same window, 40 to 42.5 degrees, at least 10 minutes, 1 to 2 hours before bed. The sweet spot is 90 minutes. And I will tell you the mistake I see in every single house I visit. The water is not hot enough. People test it with a hand and call it warm, and it is 37 degrees, which is body temperature, which does nothing at all. Buy a floating bath thermometer. They are about $10, and they sit in the water like a duck. That $10 piece of plastic did more for my grandson than 5 months of everything else. Second is the cool down, and this is where most people undo the bath in about 4 minutes. Do not bundle. When that child comes out of the water, dry him and put him in thin cotton. Long sleeves is fine. Nothing fleece, nothing padded, no socks. Bare feet, bare hands. Room at 18 to 20 degrees, which is 65 to 68. Here's the trick. The palms of the hands and the soles of the feet are the radiator. They are the only skin on the body built to dump heat fast. Put socks on a toddler at bedtime and you have closed the vent. I know socks feel like love. They are not helping. Third is the floor. Take the mattress off the frame and put it on the ground, or buy a thin futon and lay it down. No bars, no sides. And here is the trick, the one people resist and then thank me for. Put a second mattress or a folded quilt on the floor right beside it. For you. In Japan, we sleep in the shape of the character for river, 3 lines, mother on one side, father on the other, child in the middle. The room stops being a box. You are shut inside and becomes a place the family sleeps. The second switch flips. and I will be plain with you. Because I was a nursery teacher, and I will not be careless. I'm talking about a child who walks, not a baby under 1 year. A baby under 1 sleeps on her own flat, firm surface in your room, and every nurse in Japan will tell you the same. Fourth is the dull 30. From the bath to lights out, 30 minutes of nothing interesting. No new toy, no wrestling with dad who just got home and wants to play, and I understand him, but not now. And the light matters more than you think. Turn off the overhead bathroom light. Use 1 lamp, on the floor or at knee height. Here is the trick. Light from below reads as evening. Light from above reads as noon. Your child's brain has known this for 200,000 years. Same room, same order, same 4 small things, every night until it is boring. The boring is not a side effect. The boring is the message. Fifth is tauntaun. This is what my hands did for 31 years. You lie down beside the child, not sitting up, not perched on the edge ready to escape, because they can feel that. Lie down. Flat hand on the back, or on the bottom, and pat. About 60 taps a minute, the speed of a slow heartbeat. Then, over 4 or 5 minutes, slow it down on purpose. Slower, slower. Here is the trick, and it is the best thing I know. Slow your own breathing while you do it. Long out breath. They match you. A small body lying against a big, calm body will copy its rhythm without being asked. And close your own eyes. A child watches your face for permission to stop watching. If your eyes are open, the job is not finished. Sixth is the same 9 words. They will ask questions. Where is the cat? Is it tomorrow yet? My leg is weird. Do not answer any of them. Here is the trick. Never answer the question, answer the feeling, and use the same words every time so they carry no new information. It is sleeping time. I am here. That is it. Say it flat and low, the way you would say it to yourself. And you leave after, not before. Wait until the breathing changes, which is a long, slow sigh, and then a jaw that goes soft, and then you can go. Leaving before is the thing that teaches them to fight the beginning. There is one more piece that sits outside bedtime altogether. In a Japanese nursery, the nap runs 1 o'clock to 3, and at 3, we wake them, all of them, on purpose. Sleep pressure needs about 6 hours to build back up. A child who naps until 4:30 cannot fall asleep at 8, and no bath will fix it. End the nap by 3. And get that child outside into real daylight before 8 in the morning, and again in the afternoon, on their own feet, walking, not in a stroller. Now I want to zoom out, because this is not really about sleep. 60 minutes of fighting a night is 365 hours a year. That is more than 9 full working weeks of your life spent on a floor in a hallway, feeling like a failure. That is the real cost, and nobody puts it that way. But you know it. You feel it at 5 in the afternoon when the light changes and your stomach drops a little because you know what is coming. You start dreading your own child at dinner time. And then you snap, and then you lie in the dark, hating yourself for snapping at a 2-year-old, and then you do it again the next night. I have watched sleep companies charge $1,500 for a plan. I have seen $500 cribs that rock, and monitors that track breathing, and machines that make ocean noises in houses where the bath was 37 degrees, and the child was wearing socks. Nobody is going to sell you a $10 thermometer and a mattress on the floor. There is no business in it, and there is the other cost, the quiet one. Something goes wrong between a parent and a child when every single evening ends in a fight that one of them has to lose. Both of you are learning something about the end of the day. I do not think it is good for either of you. Here's the thing my mother said, and her mother before her, and it is the point of everything I have told you. We never taught a child how to fall asleep. We cooled the body, and we stayed in the room. The child did the rest. A child does not need to learn to sleep. A child needs to stop needing to stay awake. That is all bedtime is. It is not Obedeck. It is a body that has been allowed to cool, and a brain that has been given permission to stop standing guard. We have a word for the feeling anshinken, and it means the settled quiet you get when you know nothing is coming for you. That is not something you can train into a child from the other side of a door. So tonight, do 3 things. Get a thermometer if you can, and if you cannot, run the bath hotter than feels right and check it properly. And put your child in 40-degree water for 10 minutes, 90 minutes before you want them asleep. Then thin cotton, no socks, and turn the heating down. Then put the mattress on the floor, lie down next to it, Put your flat hand on their back and slow your patting down while you slow your own breathing, and say nothing except that it is sleeping time and you are here. Do not check the clock. It will feel like it is not working for about 6 minutes. Then tell me in the comments how old your child is and how many minutes it took tonight compared to normal. I read them. I want the ones where it did not work too, because there is usually one small thing and I can often see it. Next time I am going to show you the 20 minutes before nap time in a Japanese nursery, where 18 two-year-olds go down on a wooden floor with no lullaby, no bottles, and no rocking at all. It involves a folded towel, one word said out loud, and the exact thing the teacher does with her back that nobody notices. It is the reason it works with 18 children and 1 adult, and it will work with 1 child and 1 of you.